Ladies and germaphobes, today we're reviewing the Oppo A16s. So, without further ado, hit the like button and the subscribe button and let's get stuck into the video. Let's go. Okay, ladies and germs, here it is here. Oppo A16s. Beautiful looking little display there. Isn't it amazing? Look at that. Wait. Look at that. What do you get for 200 bucks? You get a case, you get a charger, you get headphones, you get a headphone jack. They're taking money off and added features in. What's going on? Oppo, thank you for sticking true to smartphone loyalty to your customers, because we all know it's nice to get something for free. I just spent $2,000 on a Galaxy S21 Ultra. What did I get? A cable. Anyway, I always rant about that. Today we're talking about the Oppo A16s. This is a 6.5-inch display coming in at 480 nits, I think. So not the brightest, but bright enough. It is also a metallic build, metallic feeling. It feels good to hold, it's nice. It's got some good curves. In fact, that's one of the features they are trying to sell this phone on, is the curved edges on it. And I must say, it does feel really nice to hold. No sharp edges, nice and curved on the back, on that metallic feeling back. It's refreshing. And it looks fairly modern too. I mean, does that resemble some other brands? You know, all the cameras stacked up on the left-hand side here. It looks pretty good. It looks modern. I like it. You got a headphone jack at the bottom, USB Type-C, couple of speakers. I mean, it's not bad for the price. I'd say the design is modern and reliable, and it's not going to look out of place. People aren't going to look at it and go, oh, what the f is this guy carrying? They're not even going to notice. It is a good looking phone. They're calling those edges the 3D curved edges. I don't know if it's 3D or not in the way it feels. It feels like a phone, but it definitely is soft on the hands. They have pearl blue color and crystal black. Mine is the pearl blue, which I'm going to show off to you right now. Here we go. That's pretty good looking. Pearly blue, just for you. Now it is also running ColorOS version 11.1, and I think ColorOS version 12 has just come out as well. Android 12 is out as well, but we are running Android 11 here, 11.1 or just 11. And it's also running November 5th, 2021 security update. So it's been released with up-to-date security. It's going to have a little bit of catching up to do to get the software right up to, you know, like flagship level. I don't think we'll get there, but that's not why you're getting this phone. This has got your typical Oppo software on it, which is very useful. And Oppo seem to add in all these little features that make the phone more usable, more user-friendly. Little gimmicks, little features that actually add to the experience rather than take away from it. And as I've always said, Oppo, they truly do own their own software these days. They don't seem to be trying to copy anyone. They're just doing the best thing they can with their software, and I like it. And they even seem to be dragging over their OnePlus software and adding in some of the Oppo features to that, the ColorOS features. So that's pretty cool to see. And this is going to be done on based on feedback from the consumer, so you know that more people will use these features than not. One of the things they are touting for this phone in the software is the eye care display. Now this allows you to have a really dim display in the darkest room and still be able to enjoy your content. In fact, it's only going to push out 2 nits at its lowest setting, so that is really dim. But you know, eye care is important, and Oppo have thought of that, so you can lie in bed at night, lights out, watching your content stress-free. Now the camera is a legitimate little shooter coming at 13 megapixels. Then you do have a 2 megapixel macro and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The macro and the standard shooter give you some fun shots to play with, so just your standard portrait or daytime photo photography are going to be just fine on this little device. When you get into low light, it's probably going to struggle a little bit, but it does have night sight as well, so you can use that to get some good night images. However, don't rely on it for any award-winning photography in a low light. That 2 megapixel depth sensor offers you the opportunity to get some good depth to your photos and offer that background blur that we all love to see in our photography. Now, a lot of the times these days it is computational or fake, and here you are using a 2 megapixel depth sensor to achieve that. It looks pretty good, you know, for that price you've got to be fairly happy with it. And I do like the portrait shots that the phone delivers in good lighting. I think you're going to get what you need out of this. Now remember, this phone is aimed at particular people, particular markets. So those people that are getting this phone, you know what you're in for. You know you're not getting the iPhone 13 Pro Max camera. You're getting a reliable camera that can take good photos and good videos. I mean, it does 1080p, 30 frames per second on the video. That's not bad, yeah? So here we are, rear-facing camera. Again, 1080p, 30 frames per second. I can't actually see what it looks like, so I'm going to comment on it over the top of this. But hopefully it's better than the front. Again, enough to get you out of trouble. For a $200 phone, this is what you would expect. But this is definitely a good representation of what you're going to get. Shadows, highlights. Not bad for the price. I mean, at this price range, this is what you're going to be happy with. Up until recently, most of our TVs were still 1080p, so bear that in mind. Okay photos, okay video, it does the job. The front-facing camera is a 8 megapixel camera. It comes in okay, it gets the job done. Just remember, don't compare it to your $2,000 phones. Compare it to your $200 to $300 phones. You know what Oppo are really good at? Power management. Power delivery and power management. And I really do like what they've done here with the A16s and some of their other phones as well, particularly like the A54s, which I'm also reviewing right now. Now, these phones can deliver 4 features that I think will add to the experience. And now they are super nighttime standby mode. So if you're not using your phone, but it's nighttime, it's going to draw as little power as possible to get it through the night, which is what you definitely want. You don't want it syncing up in the background and notifications coming through and data burning through and all that stuff going on as you're sleeping. You just want it to be idle so that when you wake up, you might still have 80% left instead of 50, 30, 20. You know, 2 nights ago, I put my Pixel 6 Pro next to my bed, went to sleep with 70%, woke up with 8%. What the? You will get less of that with these Oppo phones. Then we also have super power saving mode. So you might only have a little bit of juice left in the tank. Whack it into super power saving mode and you should be able to get through until you get home or get to a charging port, whatever comes first. Another great little battery feature. And then the last 2, one is optimized overnight charging, and I have seen this on some high-end devices, but as usual, Oppo comes through with some really high-end services and features at a low-end price. This is optimized nighttime charging, which basically means it works out that your alarm goes off at 6 and it trickle charges your phone to get to around that 100% mark by the time your alarm's set to go off. So it's good if you don't have to get up with any surprises, but if you know you're going to get up at 5 in the morning and you put your phone on charge at 10, it's going to slowly charge up through the night instead of getting up to 100% really quickly and then backing off and then charging and backing off and then charging again. So definitely better for long-term battery life. Remember when we used to think these mongrels, they want our batteries to die so we upgrade? Well, this is evidence that that's not the case. They're actually looking at battery performance, battery life, and trying to improve as best they can on that delivery of that. And then the last one is smart temperature control. So if it starts getting too hot, it backs off the charging a little bit, charges again. Maybe if it gets too hot again, it'll back off again. So no overheating going on here. Hopefully no Samsung Galaxy Note 7 explosions happening. These phones are designed to charge efficiently, look after your battery life, and have less problems with the battery and the power management. Ridgy-dig. Now, all those features aside, battery life here, it's a 2-day battery life. 5,000 milliamp hour. How can you get your head around that? 5,000 milliamp hour on the Galaxy S21 Ultra gives me about 12 hours. Here, we're getting about 48 hours. 5,000 milliamp hour battery on the Google Pixel 6 Pro, giving me about 12 to 14 hours of battery life. Here, we're getting 48 hours. Anyway, some of the spec-a-roonies. We have a MediaTek chipset. It's pretty low end, it's pretty slow. It'll get you through some basic gaming, some basic multitasking. You have 4 gigabytes of RAM, enough to hold a few apps in the background, but not too much. It's going to get you by, and you have 64 gigabytes of storage. So you're probably going to want to go sparingly on the photography and videography, or get yourself a cloud subscription to some more storage. 64 gig, 4 gig, camera 13, 2 and 2 and 8 on the front. I mean this phone is going to punch out some of the others within the same price range quite easily. I'm thinking Motorola, Nokia, they are taking a back seat here compared to the Oppo phones. I wholeheartedly believe that. I think those couple of companies alone are behind the game, and you've got companies like Oppo and Vivo and Realme that are charging to the front, especially in the low to mid-range market. So again, another little ripper from Oppo, the A16s. Links down below if you want to pick one up. You gotta use my links. You know how they say, use my links if you want, I don't really care, it just helps me out to get a little bit extra for it. I'm not saying that, I'm saying use my friggin' links, man. Use them, buy everything off Amazon through my links. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.